Well, hello. Sorry for all that discombobulation there with the video. I was trying to multitask, holding the phone, trying to flip to the right page of my notebook. So we have a special guest today. Allow me first, though, to fix my hair, lest I mess with that the entire time. My parents have told me that I have a tendency to do that I often am messing with my hair just a tad bit too much. So today, we actually have a really fun special guest that will be joining us for our Entrepreneur Jam session, and we're going to be talking to Jessica Beran. She'll be here in a few minutes. But in the meantime, one of the things I wanted to let you know, actually, let me see if this is Jessica. Nope, not yet. Okay, cool. So one of the things I wanted to let you know is if you're here in Charleston, we have a live event tomorrow night. We're going to be over at Tradesman Brewing. We have a really special guest that's joining us. Her name is Sarah Gail McConnell, and she is one of the very few women in the brewing industry. She's a brewer. She's a co-owner of that brewery. She's a co-founder of the brewery. She's absolutely incredible. And so we'll be talking to her tomorrow night about her experience launching a brewery, working in a man's world. She has lots of really funny and inspiring tales. So if you're in Charleston, please do join us tomorrow night. We'll be at Tradesman Brewing. That's from 6 to 8 p.m. So let me invite Jessica on. I'm going to send her here onto the broadcast. Hang on one second. Is about to pop on here in just a second, and we will get going with our jam session today. Hi!
I made it.
How are you?
Technology is not my friend.
Well, and I got to tell you, like, we've been doing these now for, I don't know, about 2 months, like inviting people on. And every single time it's like something goes wrong. It's like,
I had like a major anxiety for the last 15 minutes. I'm like, am I going to be able to do it?
You did it. You're
it.
here.
Yay.
Well, thanks for joining us. Heck yeah, I'm happy you're here.
Yes.
So, excuse me, before I choke, excuse me. So Jessica, while I'm over here coughing, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and about your business and introduce yourself to the tribe?
All right, cool. So I'm Jessica Beran, and I own Dance Moves of Charleston, and it is a children's dance studio. We offer dance classes for children's ages 2 and up. We have kids that go all the way up through teens. I've been in business. It's actually my official 17th year anniversary in the business, although I still claim I'm in my 16th because I go by my recital date. So
sure,
this is my 16th recital I'm about to do in June.
That's incredible.
So been around for a while. Started off as a mobile program, and now I have 2 physical locations as well as the mobile program. So it's pretty much like having 3 studios.
Yeah.
So I've been around Charleston a long time, and just been here and doing my thing.
That's incredible. I mean, 16 years, 17 years is no small feat.
Listen, if you'd have told me way back then when I was like in the phone book, calling people, you know, begging for them to let me come in for an appointment, that it would have grown to this magnitude, it's beyond what I ever imagined. So it's been an amazing trip.
This is a little bit off our agenda, but I am curious, what do you feel like has been your biggest lesson, especially in the past couple of years, now that you've been running businesses as long as you have and watching them grow? What are you still learning? Like, what's been one of those biggest lessons?
Oh God, there's so many. I feel like I learn something every single, I learn something every week. I'll even say 16 years in, here I am still trying to figure it out. But, and I think I mentioned this on the Hatch Tribe yesterday about that failure is okay. Like making mistakes is totally okay. And actually whenever I always say, like, when I'm down here, I feel like I've done something that isn't exactly in line with what my vision was or what I wanted. And I get down in this space of like, oh, how could I be like this? It almost like throws me forward, and I go a little bit more forward every time. So mistakes are like a really good thing to make. And it took me a long time to realize that, because we beat ourselves up as business owners all the time, like, oh, I should have done this, and oh, I should have done that. The other thing is you will never, ever, ever be able to please every single person that you come across with in your business. There's always it is my goal to make people happy. I am a people pleaser. I love doing that, but it took me a really long time to be able to step back from, somebody who might not agree with the way that I do things, and just say, let's just agree to disagree, because you're not going to make everyone happy. No matter what you do, there's going to be someone who's not going to be in line with that. So
Absolutely.
you just got to let it go. You got to let it go, and know for every person that is not in line with you, there are 2, 3, 4, 5 more that are. So it's
I think that's
like your
such good advice.
Them back in. Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think your point about failure is so, as I remarked back to you in the member circle, I'm like, this is the reminder that I think we need constantly, because I think no matter how long you've been in business, you have moments of like extraordinary highs where things are going well and sales are good and it feels like your business is on fire. It's good. And then it could be followed by like a month or several months of where things just do not feel like they're going your way. And it's understanding it's like an ebb and a flow, and that there's highs and there's lows. And I think it's such a good reminder, but also coming from you, because you've been doing this for so long, and like saying that to other entrepreneurs like myself who like we haven't been in business as long, like that's really meaningful. So I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, and it's we have to just we have to be compassionate with ourselves as far as where we are and what we're doing, and it's really hard for us to forget all of the things we have accomplished when one bad thing happens. It's like when that something happens, because we are so passionate about what we're doing, we feel like everything's going to crumble beneath it. But we have to have some compassion for ourselves and look at all the things that you have done right.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you too, now thinking about your business right now, what's something that you've been experiencing or going through lately?
For me, now that I have so many employees, that has been, it's been a whole nother, I've had employees for the last, 12 years, but it was always on a smaller scale. And now it's, I'm learning and trying to, I want to keep those people working for me. So trying to figure out ways that, I can show them appreciation, and before it was like, okay, I'm the boss, I'm paying you, you should just be appreciative. And that was kind of like just a, me being in my gotta get things done mindset. And now I am really trying to focus in on, these people are valuable to me, and how do I express that and maintain being the boss. It's kind of a fine line, because it's like I want, to make everyone happy, but I also want things done the way I want them done. So it's kind of a fine line. And it's been challenging the last couple of years trying to figure out that balance between the two, so that's kind of one of the big things. And that has been in my forefront, over the last little bit. But it's working. I mean, we're trying, the girl who works under me, Julie, is wonderful at coming up with great ideas for us to, and myself. So we're constantly trying to come up with ideas to keep these employees on,
That's awesome. One of the things that another friend of mine shared is she's like, as we've hired more people and brought more team members on, she's like, I feel like it's left me without a role. Like in some ways it's like she hired up enough that then
as I'm working from home today, because
and she's like, then it left me with the question of now what do I do in this new environment where we have team members that are executing what once would have been her or those first couple of employees. So have you found it to be an interesting shift in role to then not
and
be
letting go of control? Letting go of the absolute, it used to be there was not one move that could be made in the business without me being right on top of it. That was my rule. Nothing can happen unless I say. And now I'm slowly okay, you don't have to ask, I don't need to be CC'd on all those emails, and you don't have to ask me all these things. And it's been very challenging because it's your baby, and you want, you want everything to be what your vision is. And
Mm-hmm.
luckily, I am so lucky. I mean, I truly believe I have the most amazing staff. I really do. They are passionate about what they're doing, and they're passionate about the kids that come to our studio. And so I really have built a huge trust with them
Mm-hmm.
to follow through with, and they know the way I like to do things, and it may not fall in line exactly with what they're doing, but
Yeah.
they understand, their role in that. And, I've slowly but surely let them kind of take control of some of those things, is so that I can explore other things for myself.
Yeah.
16 years into a business, I absolutely love what I do and what I've done. But I'm always, I'm the type, I'm always looking for the next thing. I just want to, I got that driven fire that's always underneath me. And
I think that's all of us.
yes, exactly. That's why we own businesses.
I know.
But now I'm able to go pursue some things. Oop, my earphone fell out. Now I'm able to go pursue some things that have been on the back of my mind. And I've got more freed up time in my day to go, follow through with some other dreams that I have, and who knows
Which
where
is
that
awesome.
will take me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
think
still always will have my hand on, my baby. I always say Dance Moves was my baby before I had babies.
Yes.
It's my first baby.
It totally is. Yeah. And I think that's wonderful because, it's, our businesses, as much as ourselves, are in evolution at all times. And, I think that it's probably, in my opinion, one of the reasons that we end up being entrepreneurs, and particularly successful ones, is because you do have an interest in development, personal or professional, and evolving and growing. And it's like, I think when we lose that sense of interest, it's like, it's probably a good indicator to find something else in some ways to dig into, to bring the excitement back. And I think in many times in a business, it's like creating a new product or a new service. Sometimes it's like stepping outside of the current business you're in to pursue perhaps another path, which can also be a big win. So
exactly. And now I have time to do things like be a member of Patch Tribe and, learn from other women. And it's like opened so many different, doors for me. And I've met so many people because I'm able to get out in the community and be a part of the community. Whereas before it was like, I was tied to, every little minute of the business. And now I have time to kind of spread my wings a little bit, and it's been awesome. Like, I love it. I love being out there. So
yeah, that's great. Well, let me ask you a question. You kind of came into the fold of Hatch Tribe within the course of the past year.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, from your perspective, what has Hatch Tribe meant to you, or what's the impact it's had on your business or life?
Well, for me, it has just opened my eyes to how many women just like me are out there. I think I've told this story before. For 15 years I went with blinders. I never asked a question. I mean, every now and then I would, and I just kind of like, whip by this, now, like, I can hop on there. I said earlier, technology is not my friend. I'm not great at technology. I think some of the main questions I've asked on there, but I can hop on there and say, hey, my business is trying to run a Facebook ad. Does anyone have any ideas on, I don't know anything about this. And, the next thing I know, I've got like 3 comments with podcasts and things I can listen to. And like, I reached out one time about the vlog, and you sent me a video about how to, set up my camera, and, just things like that, where it's personal. So I'm not just like, taking advice from someone that even though I don't know a lot of the ladies in there, it still feels like a community. And I feel like, seeing the success of other women by them following these paths, it's helped me to take on, a little bit more and explore a little bit more about how I could grow my business, even more. And it gives you that community feel, and you guys have, these, like, the little social tomorrow night. I'm so looking forward to it. It gets me out of my house, and
yes.
talk about like the guilt for not working. I'm usually like at home, always like there's always something to do, and it's like gets me out of my shell. And I just feel like it's a great resource. I've also, stepped on some of y'all's courses. Like, you have a whole library of courses of things that, are set out for you specifically, so they're easy to follow, easy to understand, and there's just like a whole library of that in the Hatch Tribe. That's all comes with you just with the membership. So it's been a very cool experience. I absolutely love it.
I think one of the things too that, like, to me, it's one of the things that I find more enlivening about our community is that we have members like you who've run a business for 16, 17 years. And then we have members that just got started like within the past year.
Yeah.
And so it's like, we have expertise that ranges from length of time in business, that ranges ages. Like, we have some women who are in their 50s and 60s as part of it, and some in their 20s. And to me, it's like, because we all come from such different backgrounds and perspectives, it's like the insight we're able to glean from one another is so powerful, because it's not just all one-sided, one slanted one way. And, you know, to me, it just gives me a lot of hope, because I think when you're early as an entrepreneur, you don't know if you're going to make it, and you need to see other women that have made it.
Exactly. And know that they have struggled also.
Yes.
You know, those first 5 years of owning your business, my first 5 years of owning my business, I personal trained on the side. I bartended every weekend, you know, like, you are struggling just to get your bills paid, and, you know, knowing that, you know, that's okay. You know, you're not going to start off and be, you know, the success that you hope for. You gotta work for it. And a lot of times they, you know, the people who quit are not going to make it. But if you keep going, and this support you get from the group, and you know, like you said, other women with different backgrounds and different, you know, different ages, it's like, you know, it just gives you the motivation to say, oh, okay, you know, if I keep going, if I keep working, it's definitely going to pan out for me. And it will, you know, energy flows where energy goes, you know, like, if you're putting your time into it, then, you know, inevitably something's going to happen, you know?
Yeah.
And the other thing that I love about the Hatch Tribe is that you guys really are focused on mindset. And, you know, I really have, in the last 5 years, have started focusing on, you know, meditation, and, you know, how I think, and, you know, that I'm in control of my thoughts. And, you know, sometimes our thoughts spiral out, and I love, you know, like you guys did like a whole thing on meditation yesterday, and you know, different mindset things that, you know, really can, if you change your mindset, you can really accomplish so much more. You know, we are our worst enemies, you know.
Oh,
so
yeah, without a doubt.
If we can like, you know, clear up some of that negative space, then, you know, we're going to do even more. So I love that you guys are very invested in that aspect of owning a business too, not just like, how do you make money? You know, it's, there's a whole circle of, you know, different avenues that are going to make you successful.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I will say too, like, on that same vein, I got up this morning and I listened to a podcast. It's Oprah's Super Soul Sunday podcast. And there's an episode with Sean Acor, and he's talking about happiness, and he talks about these mirror neurons, and he makes the people in the audience do this funny thing where they have to stand in front of one another, and one gets to smile, but the other one is supposed to stand there like stoic and not smile back. And then they reverse it. And then he's like, okay, so all of you just failed. None of you were able to successfully not smile. And he was talking about like how, you know, we reflect back our environment. And I was thinking about, in the context of our community, one of the things that we've been really deliberate about is like putting the focus on the positive side, or on the solving side. Like, there are times when things are really challenging, and like, you can show up in our community and share that, but we want to quickly get you into a place of like, you've gotten the complaint out. Cool. Let's go to problem solving. Like, let's help get you a solution so you can move forward. Because that's where the the real benefit happens. So to me, it's like, it was interesting listening to that and then thinking about, like, even in our community, it's like we reflect back a lot of positivity to one another, but not in like a fake way. It's in like a
right,
like a legit
stuff's
way.
gonna happen. You're gonna have some down days. You're gonna have some down stuff happen.
Yes.
But yeah, like you said, it's changing the way you're thinking about it, and every problem can be solved. And I used to not believe that. I thought every problem was a dramatic, this is never gonna, and everything always works out. It truly does. You just got to find the solution that's going to work for you and your business,
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And letting go a lot of that, like you said, trying to make every single person happy. I mean, it's just not going to happen,
No,
but
it's
you
not.
You can try your best, and as long as you are being authentic to yourself,
yes,
then you are going to attract the people, like, what
well
do you guys,
said.
you guys say your vibe attracts your tribe. Like,
Yeah.
I love that, because it's like, really, like, what you're putting out is what you're going to get back, So if you're surrounded by people who are, in the same boat as you, and they're trying to lift you up, which is what the women in the tribe do, then, it's only going to help, levitate you to where you need to be. So
well said. Very well said. Well, before we pop off, Jessica, is there anything else you want to say before we go?
No, I think that's been great. I think this has been a great conversation.
Well, where can people find you if they want to connect with you and your business?
So my personal Instagram is Jess Beran, Jess_Beran. And then the Dance Moves is Dance Moves CHS on Instagram.
Okay.
So love for you guys to follow both of those. And yeah,
great.
That's where you can find me, or Facebook.
Great. Sounds good. Well, we'll post, of course, links after we finish the broadcast, and you can rewatch it there from the start if you missed any of the beginning. But Jess, thank you so much for joining me today. It was so good to chat with you. And for everybody who joined us watching live or later, thank you.
All right. Bye.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.